Welcome to Writing Write Essay Introduction session. Let's go ahead and see what this question type is about and what do we need to take care of in order to get a good score in it. So in your exam you'll get 1 to 2 questions of this type. There'll be a topic, and on that topic you have to write an essay uh, which has to be between 200 and 300 words, and you'll be given 20 minutes to finish your response. So 20 minutes to write the essay, 20 minutes per essay topic. Okay, uh, this is what the screen will look like. So at the top, it's just the description of what the question type is about. Below that, you'll have your essay topic. So there'll be a statement, and then the essay might ask you um, whether you support or whether you oppose the particular statement. So, whether you agree or you disagree with the statement, and you have to support your point of view with reasons and examples from your own experience. Okay, so they might just have a statement and then ask you to write what's your opinion on it, or it could be advantages and disadvantages, or agreement and disagreement. So something like that. Yeah. And below that there'll be a text box, which will under it you'll have your usual cut, copy, paste buttons, and below that there'll be a word count. So it will show you that what's your current word count. Please keep in mind that your essay should be a minimum of 200 and a maximum of 300 words, but my advice is try to write at least 250 words. And then there's the timer, so which begins the countdown from 20 minutes. All right, so it always shows you how much time you have left. It's essentially a test of your writing skills, yeah, and your ability to understand the essay prompt, that what they're asking you to do, and then build a response around it, write an essay around it. Okay, so the writing skills, they comprise a number of things. One is how well can you structure, a long text. Okay, can you write in a way that it clearly distinguishes between what's an introduction text, what's the main text where you have all your ideas, and where do you have your conclusion. Okay, and then also when you're writing, how well are you able to link the sentences to each other, link the paragraphs to each other, and flow from one sentence to another. Or in other words, how well can you write your story. So it's a test of that. And then of course it tests your spellings, it tests your grammar, and how rich your language is. Okay, so it's also a test of that. Do you use similar kind of words all over, or are you able to show diverse and a rich vocabulary, a rich understanding of the language? So that's very important. These are the things that you should keep in mind to score well. So first is identify the main idea and be clear about what you have to write about. So I've seen a lot of students, who don't spend enough time um understanding the topic, understanding what they have been asked to do. So they just pick on one word or two words in the whole topic and they'll just write an essay on that. You have to clearly identify, what the essay is about. So for example, it could be about deforestations, trees, and villages, all of them together in one sentence. But what they are asking you is that, uh, do you support deforestation or not? This is just an example, right? So now you have to focus on deforestation, okay? But some people, they just get lost in the other points. For example, they'll write a bit about deforestation, then they'll write about cities and villages, okay? So the main idea, what you're writing about, has to be very clear. And throughout your essay, you have to stick to that main idea, okay? Don't go left, don't go right. You have to justify that main idea, you have to write about that main theme, what that essay is about, okay? Don't get lost in supporting points, don't get lost in, just one particular piece of information, all right? Uh, Structure of your essay, that's very important. So you should have your idea, sorry, you should first have your introduction where you explain that, where you have to show that you have understood what the essay is about, and then what your take on that theme is, all right, what you are going to write about. For example, if the essay topic is that, let's say, the essay topic is, a lot of people think that it is government's main responsibility to prevent deforestation. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Write an essay on it. So now, when you are writing your introduction, you can begin it with just giving a general introduction to show, to demonstrate that you have understood what the topic is. So you begin with something like, deforestation has become a very serious problem, and all of us, including the government, has an important role to play in stopping this. Uh, so that's, you've just shown that you understood what the essay theme was, and after that you tell what your stand on this is. So in the next sentence, you write that, I do think that the government has a big role to play in stopping deforestation, but I also believe that it's the responsibility of each and every citizen, and it's an important thing that can be left just to the government. All right. So that now tells, also what the stand you are going to take and what you are going to demonstrate through your writing and, throughout the essay. So that's your introduction. After that, the next two paragraphs or even three paragraphs will be about the main points. Okay. So if it's an agreement or a disagreement, then you can write, points in agreement or disagreement, or advantages and disadvantages, and try to give some examples, from your own experience for each of those points. Okay. It doesn't matter if, the example you are giving from your experience is true or not. Okay. So you can always say that in my personal experience, I've seen friends and, some friends do this, and it has had, you know uh, these results. So you can always make up, an example. So try to give those examples. Then try to demonstrate a richness of language. So by that I mean, try to use synonyms. Don't just repeat the same words again and again. Okay. So for forests, use forest, then use trees. Okay. So you use words like that in different places. Okay. So if it is a city, use city. Use an urban area. Similar, words in different places, which shows the richness of a language. And then connect, all the different ideas, the different sentences, and the different paragraphs to each other. So, for example, if your first paragraph, has got one key point, your second paragraph has got a second key point, then your first paragraph can begin with firstly, or in the beginning, I would like to say, and then your second paragraph can begin with, let's say, secondly, or you can begin it by saying, in addition to that, I would also like to say. Okay. So that's how, you properly connect all these parts to each other. Now, in the master class, which was one of the earlier sessions, you should have seen that already, studied that already. If we go into, this writing and how we do that, in more detail. Also, in the templates and tricks section, you will find some templates of, which you can use to structure your essay responses, and also a list of the connecting words that you can use in different scenarios. So all of that information is very helpful. Now the time, the 20 minutes that you have, please use it very wisely. So the first few minutes, maybe 2, 3 minutes, spend it, in getting your ideas out. Write them down. I mean, you can directly type them in the screen. Okay, if because you would already know how you have to structure it. So started typing, into the text box on the screen. Just write few words in the first line, then just hit enter, some blank spaces, then write the couple of words to mark the beginning of the second paragraph, and so on. So just put your ideas out there. After that, the next 10 minutes, spend it on, building upon that, connecting, developing those ideas, putting in more information, writing examples, completing your introduction, completing your conclusion, okay? And then the last few minutes, maybe the last 5 minutes, spend that on reviewing it. So go back, read it, okay? Does it flow properly? Um, is every subsequent paragraph adding to what's been described in the earlier paragraphs? Are the sentences connected well to each other? Is there a spelling mistake? So look out for all of these things. All right. And I'm quite sure if you do that, if you use your time wisely, you will be able to write good essays. Okay. So you're ready now? Take a break, or if you feel like straight away go to practice at number one. All the best.